All right, so today we're diving deep into Turkish innovation.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah, and you know me, always on the lookout for those rising tech stars, and it
Mhm.
seems like Turkey's really been stepping up their game. We're talking homegrown tech, cars, even aerospace projects, all fueled by this whole yearly ve milli philosophy,
Drew.
domestic and national. Basically, a big push for Turkish-made everything. And to get the full picture, we're tapping into this website that's like a virtual exhibition hall for all things
I love it.
Turkish innovation.
Yeah, these kinds of initiatives always get me bumped, It's like getting a glimpse into the future, seeing how different countries are shaping the tech landscape.
Exactly. And what's really interesting about this website is that it isn't just a bunch of flashy product announcements. It's clear that there's a deliberate strategy here.
Oh, absolutely.
They want to be a major player, not just in their own region, but globally.
Right, like they're not just dipping their toes in the water anymore. They're diving right in.
Exactly. So, ready to jump into the deep end.
Let's do it.
All right, let's start with the tech world because things are definitely buzzing over there. First up, we've got this company, Reader. They're launching an electric car called the Reeve Fancy.
Okay, catchy name.
Right, and get this, it's not just some concept car. It's available for pre-order right now for 280,000 Turkish lira.
Which is about insert dollar equivalent. That puts them in a pretty competitive price range, especially for the EV market. Are they highlighting any unique features? Like, what's their selling point?
Well, they're really emphasizing a unique feature, e.g. energy efficiency, local sourcing of parts, or design element. Sounds like they're going for that standout from the crowd approach.
Smart move, especially in such a crowded market.
Right, and it seems to be working. But speaking of standing out, this next one's literally out of this world. We're talking about the Turksat 6A satellite.
Oh, wow, a satellite. Okay, now this is getting serious.
No, I know what you're thinking. A satellite, big deal, right? But here's the thing. This one's completely domestically produced.
And that's huge. See, right now, they're in the middle of those, nerve-wracking orbital verification tests, making sure everything's okay.
Fingers crossed.
I know, right? But if those tests go well, it means Turkey will have way more control over their communication networks.
Which is kind of a big deal in today's world.
A massive deal.
Yeah.
Think about it. It impacts everything from everyday internet access
Yeah.
to, national security. It's a huge step towards digital sovereignty.
Right. Like they're not as reliant on other countries for that critical infrastructure anymore. That's a pretty big power shift in the tech world.
Definitely a statement.
But hold on, there's more tech to unpack. It's not all satellites and electric cars. They've also got this really cool innovation, the WeWalk Smart Cane.
Okay, now that's something you don't hear every day. A smart cane. Tell me more.
So, you know how important canes are for visually impaired people, right?
Right.
Well, this one's basically like a high-tech upgrade. It uses sensors and GPS to help people navigate their surroundings, avoiding obstacles.
Wow, that's incredible. So it's like giving people more independence, more freedom to move around confidently.
Exactly. And it plays into this whole assistive technology trend that's really starting to take off globally.
Yeah, and it's a market with huge potential for growth. As the world's population ages, the demand for this kind of technology is only going to increase.
Right. So it's not just about making life easier for people in Turkey. It's about tapping into a global need. Smart move on their part.
It's like they're not just trying to create products, they're trying to solve real problems,
Yeah, and not just focusing on one specific area either. I mean, we've talked tech, but let's be honest, when it comes to innovation, sometimes you just gotta talk cars.
Oh, absolutely. And
Right.
Turkey's auto industry is definitely one to watch.
For real, they're making some serious moves, like take the TOG T10X, for example.
Turkey's first domestically produced electric car. I've been hearing a lot of buzz about that one.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, first domestic EV, that's already a huge accomplishment. But then on top of that, it was named Car of the Year 2024 in Turkey.
That's massive. It shows that they're not just building cars, they're building cars that people actually want to drive.
Totally. And get this, it's been getting some really positive press in France, too.
France, wow, okay, that's impressive.
Right. I mean, France is known for its car culture, so for them to take notice, that says a lot.
It's like getting a stamp of approval from the fashion capital of the world, but for cars.
Exactly. But if we're talking about pushing boundaries in the auto world, we gotta mention the Karsan autonomous e-ATAC.
Self-driving buses. Now that's what I call next-level innovation.
Right. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's real, and it's happening right now.
And they're not just testing it out in a controlled environment either. They're actually deploying these autonomous buses in Switzerland.
Switzerland. Interesting choice. Why there?
Well, Switzerland is known for being very, meticulous about safety and regulations, especially when it comes to transportation.
Yeah, they don't mess around over there.
Exactly. So the fact that they're open to testing out these Turkish-made autonomous buses on their streets,
Hmm.
that says a lot about the level of trust they have in the technology.
It's like a gold star for self-driving innovation. Okay, so we've covered the ground, but what about the sky? Turkey's also got some ambitious plans in the aerospace sector.
Oh yeah, they're definitely aiming high.
For real. And they're not afraid to acknowledge their history either. They make a point of mentioning the Bayraktar TB2 drone.
Which, even though it's been retired now, had a pretty major impact on modern warfare tactics.
Right, like everyone was talking about it for a while there, but they're not resting on their laurels or anything. They've been busy developing the Herjet.
Turkey's first ever jet-powered training aircraft. Pretty impressive stuff.
It really is. They actually showed it off at an air show in Samsun not too long ago.
Yeah, and from what I've read, it's not just a symbolic victory either. Developing a jet trainer like this requires some serious technological know-how.
Right, it's like they're building a foundation for even more advanced aerospace projects in the future.
Exactly. And then there's the ANKA-3 drone.
Which sounds like something straight out of a spy movie. What's the deal with that one?
So it's got all these advanced capabilities, obviously, but one detail really jumped out at me. They managed to get it to retract its landing gear mid-flight during testing.
Okay, I'll buy. Why is that such a big deal? It seems kind of small compared to, like, flying itself, right?
It might seem like a small detail, but trust me, it's significant. See, retracting the landing gear reduces drag, which means the drone can fly farther, faster, and use less fuel.
Ah, so it's all about efficiency and stealth.
Exactly. And in the world of drone technology, those things can be game changers.
Makes sense. So from cars of the year to cutting-edge drones and everything in between, it seems like Turkey's really firing on all cylinders when it comes to innovation.
They're definitely a force to be reckoned with, that's for sure.
So before we get too carried away with all this awesome tech, anything else catch your eye on this website? Any hidden gems we should know about?
Well, they did mention the successful launch of their Plan S Connecta satellites.
Hold on, satellites again. What makes these ones so special?
Okay, so these aren't just any satellites. They're specifically designed for the Internet of Things.
Ah, the IoT. Now you're speaking my language. So we're talking connecting devices, sensors, the whole nine yards on a global scale.
Exactly. This is Turkey throwing their hat into the ring of global connectivity, which is a pretty big deal.
Right. I mean, that's a market with huge potential. Everyone wants a piece of that pie.
And it impacts everything these days, from smart cities to like how we do business internationally. It's all connected.
So are we saying there's a chance we'll be seeing made in Turkey tech powering the future of the internet? Because that's kind of mind-blowing.
It's definitely within the realm of possibility. And hey, speaking of the future, there's one more thing I wanted to mention.
Okay with it.
They highlighted this event, IDEF 2025. It's an international defense industry fair happening in Istanbul.
Okay, so if you're really into aerospace and defense tech, that's the place to be.
Absolutely. It's a chance for Turkey to really show off what they've got to the rest of the world.
And probably attract some international collaborations and investments while they're at it, right?
Oh, for sure. This is about more than just showing off. It's about solidifying their place in the global innovation landscape.
It's been pretty eye-opening, honestly, seeing just how much they're doing. We're talking electric vehicles, cutting-edge drones, space tech even.
It's ambitious, no doubt about it. But from what we've seen, they're not just throwing ideas at the wall and seeing what sticks. There's a clear vision here.
And what would you say that vision is?
I think it's pretty clear they're done being just consumers of innovation. They want to be creators, leaders, the ones calling the shots.
Makes you wonder, in a few years, what will we be saying about made in Turkey? It's a question worth thinking about.
It really is. And for me, that's what makes exploring these emerging tech scenes so fascinating. It's like you get a glimpse into all these different possibilities for the countries themselves, but also for the future of technology as a whole.
Well said. So, to our listeners, there you have it, a deep dive into the world of Turkish innovation, a world that's clearly on the move. What will they achieve next? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, it's a story worth following.